Project managers and PMP candidates are in full panic mode right now because PMI is making some serious changes. With a new PMBOK 8th edition, a new PMP exam content outline, new exam format, new certifications that are aligning to AI, and to talk about a new above the PMP certification. And there are experts out there acting like the sky is falling right now. And it's creating panic in a lot of PMP students and those thinking about getting their PMP. Some of those same people have been saying for months that the PMP is losing value, that too many people are passing the exam, and that the PMBOK 7th edition is terrible. And now PMI is doing something about it, and they're still freaking out. Now, I've only been teaching this for a couple of years, but I've seen PMI make changes before. My wife and I both got our PMPs on different PMBOKs. So I know these individuals who are giving all this advice and pushing it out there, they know this too. The PMI changes the PMP, the PMBOK, the exam content outline every few years. This wasn't a surprise. It actually was timed about similar for the past 2 or 3 iterations that they have done this. But they're out there like, take my course now. Buy my book, all before PMI makes changes to the PMP. Look, I'm not here to pretend nothing's happening. PMI is making some serious 2026 moves. They're continuing to push the more concept. They've instituted the CPMAI certification, adding AI into the PMP material too. They're completely restructuring how questions are in the PMP and how the exam is delivered. But here's the thing. They've been communicating these changes to the PMI authorized training partners for months. We've been prepared. We've actually seen the new PMI PMP material that they have out there. And we've been able to provide insights on what we thought about the material. So we've been preparing for these changes, which we're going to start implementing here soon in April 2026. So what actually is changing? Not the scary version, not some linked document version, the real version. What are we looking at for this April change and for the July official cutover to the new exam? It's not a massive conspiracy. There's about 4 different things that are happening at the same time. So I'm going to walk you quickly through each one. First thing that changed is the PMBOK 8th edition was released. Now I'm hearing people say, oh, the PMBOK 8th edition is a mess. It's hard to read. It has formatting issues. Well, I hate to say this, but I will. The individual I just heard say this the other day, I used their book while studying for the PMP. I used multiple materials if you've heard anything about my story. And I'll tell you right now, their book is full of spelling errors. It's full of grammar errors. It has formatting problems. The best-selling PMP book got it. But the world is not perfect. The PMBOK is a reference guide that only instructor nerds like me really get into researching and reading. It's not a study guide. It's not something that students pick up and they're like, oh, I understand the PMP. I will pass the exam. No, it takes a little bit of mentorship, a little bit of guidance. Once you understand the whole concept, now the PMBOK makes a little more sense. So this isn't a surprise that the PMBOK 8th edition will come out and it wouldn't be directly relatable to students right away. And it probably won't ever be in the future. And just because you don't like the way it is doesn't mean that it's not a useful document. It still has some really good material that's in it. The second thing that changed is there's a new PMP exam content outline. The exam content outline gets updated every few years, usually aligns to the new PMBOK and the new PMBOK exam. So again, no surprise. This is normal. PMI doesn't just sit there and let the exam get stale. Instead, they improve upon the feedback they receive. And right now, they've made a serious change. And then third, PMI is leaning hard into artificial intelligence. They're integrating AI concepts into project management because that's where the industry is going. The CPMAI certification, the AI components that are put into the new PMP exam, this isn't PMI going crazy. This is PMI making sure that project managers who are training to get the PMP right now are staying relevant. And the fourth thing, PMI is pushing the more concept. I know a lot of people who are out there like, this is getting kind of annoying, but it actually makes sense when you really think about it. This isn't some secret conspiracy. This is PMI evolving their framework to be more people focused, to focus on value-driven delivery, not just being process-focused like project managers have been for years. Now, here's what those fear mongers, that's what I'm going to call them right now, they're not telling you. I'm a PMI authorized training partner. I've been in calls where PMI is discussing this new training, the adjustments being made, the advice they took from other instructors, and I've seen the new training materials. I know what's coming. And guess what? It's not as scary as you think. The reality is the new PMBOK 8th edition is out. The PMP exam is updating, and it's aligning to this new PMBOK 8th edition and the new PMP exam content outline. And this is all going into effect July 1st, 2026. But starting mid-April, PMP students will have the option to take the new exam. And PMI authorized training partners, we're going to start teaching that material in April 2026. So here's what nobody wants to hear, but needs to hear it. You don't need to panic. You don't need to rush and get your PMP right now. We're project managers, people. It's a timeline that you have to build based off your assessment of where you're at in your career. If your timeline was to take the exam in August or September, you need to do what you need to do to plan it out for that time frame. Weigh the risks of the exam changing for you and either push the schedule out, understand the scope changes, and get familiarized with the new material, or you need to do some of that little compression techniques that you learned in your PMP exam prep course and take the exam sooner. But there is no need to pressure anyone into taking the exam right now and signing up for their course right now. I teach these courses. I want people to sign up too, but I'm not going to do that through pressuring people or telling them the new material is terrible and take the exam now when I know what is on the exam because I've been doing this for a couple of years and the changes are scaring me, so I'm going to scare you in turn. Look, I get it. Some people, they're confused right now. A lot of changes happening, and that's creating panic for them. But when you have to rely on fear to sell your courses instead of just relying on your results, you're probably on thin ice to begin with. So what should you actually be doing right now? First, figure out your timeline, not someone else's panic timeline, your timeline. What is your career goal? What resources do you have available? How much time do you have to study? So if you were planning to take the exam before July 2026, stick to your plan. If you've already taken your exam prep course, that's great. You have time before July when this new exam takes effect. But if you're planning to take it after July, you need the new material. That new material is coming out in April 2026. It's pretty simple if you really look at it. Stop listening to the fearmongers. That's number 2. If someone is telling you to rush and buy their course now before PMI ruins everything or before PMI makes all these changes, ask yourself, are they actually helping you or scaring you to make the purchase? PMI is making these changes for a reason. The field is evolving. And when it evolves, new material is needed. And that's where you're being tested on, the new material. And then third, trust the PMI authorized training partners out there. We're getting the real information from PMI. We're being trained on the new material. And we're not guessing when it comes to what's going to be on this exam. The PMP certification isn't going anywhere. It's getting better. It's getting more relevant. It's getting more valuable. Yes, there are more people earning it. That's a good thing. It's becoming an industry standard, pretty much what the goal was that it set out to be. And this new above the PMP certification, it's just adding a new level. It's adding a new level of expertise to take that large pool of PMPs and pull out who are the best amongst the best. I have a video where I talk about that already. PMI is not the enemy. They're evolving to serve you better, to serve the community better. So if you're ready to start your PMP journey or continue on it without all the panic, you can check out my courses below. No fear mongering, no pressure tactics. If it works for you, it works for you. If it works on your timeline, take a course. It's just some solid PMP prep or PMI-RMP prep if that's what you're looking for too. And it's all from someone who actually knows what PMI is planning. All right, so until next time, keep managing those projects. Check out this video right here where I go over the new PMP exam questions. All right. Stay motivated, stay dedicated. 44 Risk PM out.